Okay, so sorry for the interruption. The power supply was interrupted actually, so the monitor died. All right, so we are back to where we were. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to be logging in using GraphQL instead of because of the problem we have with 4.2.0. All right, so I'm just going to do login now. Oh, it says my account has been blocked by the administrator, so let's go back and unblock my account because I blocked it here, you can see. So I'm just going to save that and come back here and try to log in now. So you should log me in with the right and returning the actual data, so you can see what we have here, right? We have my JWT token here, which is what we're going to be using now. We're going to be using that on the Swagger now. Just copying that. So we have role of null. Why is our role null? I don't know why that is, so let's check together. My role is supposed to be riders, right? It's supposed to be riders. So I wonder why we have null here. Okay, let's just let's flow with that for now. Okay, or let me just create something so that I can fetch the role query. So we are querying the user permission itself. Then we are querying data. So we are saying inside data we are having the ID, we have the role. So inside the role we have the attributes. Sorry, yeah, we have the attribute. Yeah, just hold on. Why do we have a role in the first place? You are gonna be having a role. So they didn't return a role for us because of okay. So we're missing missing something there. That's why. So yeah. Yeah, so we have this guy too. We have attributes. Okay, and we have ID. Sorry, we have ID. We have name. I don't know why it's not trying to return the ID to us. But whatever the case is, that is problem for now. Yeah. So ID, first name. Yeah, first name. It's for forbidden. That's because we are not authenticated. So let's try and get authenticated. So basically what I'm trying to prove is that here now we have just done data, some attributes, then get this data here and put here. That's the way it's supposed to have been. But whatever the case is, why we are not having this guy the way we want it, I can't really say, but I think it has to do with version 4.2. So let me just return name alone. So hopefully it's supposed to just work, but you can see it's still returning null. So basically, as far as 4.2, the user permission plugin is different from is not in sync. It's still using the user permission of it's still using the system or the mechanism of the 3.6.5. That's why we're having this kind of stuff. It won't throw any error, but then we are supposed to have gotten it this way. All right, so now I'll just be adding the authentication here, right? Authentication, authorization rather. Authorization. What was our, so we have this guy, then we have this guy here as well. So doing this alone should just give us what we need. Oh, why can't I find, oh sorry, bearer. Whoa, so we are still not able to do what we are supposed to do. So now let's now go back to the roles and permissions rider. Okay, do we have, can only find me and can find one, so it can't find everyone, so that's why we are having that error. They can find, should be able to find everyone now, so doing this now should make us find everyone. You can see, I don't understand why it's still returning this when it's as well, when it's returning data there. I don't know why this is the case. What a very funny scene to watch actually, because you can see you return the data, but yet it's returning error to us. I don't know why, but whatever the case is, I think it has to do with this GraphQL. I can't explain that right now, but like I said, my focus is not to point out the errors of the system, it's just to show you how it works actually. You get my point now. So so we have this guy, we still are having this null here, which is now worrisome now. It's now worrisome to me, because normally that shouldn't be the case. That shouldn't be the case at all, at all, at all. So I'll still attribute this issue to I'll still attribute it to what's it called now, to the version of this guy that is not compatible with the version of what we have. Okay, so that's what I would still say. So but then that's what we are going to be using. So we are going to be using that login token to fetch a whole load of stuffs. So let's now come here and fetch and see if you can fetch things that we need to fetch. Here now I'm anticipating that we are going to be able to fetch the rows here as well. So bearer, that token that we had, then we have that there, then we can now say okay, populate. Do you want to populate? So I'll just walk us through what some of these things mean. So populate just means that you want it to get all the relations of other things that you have. All right, so if you don't want to add it, you can just leave it out. So I'm still getting forbidden for this guy even after I've shown my login details. Why am I still getting forbidden for this guy? Why? So just hold on, while I investigate why that is. Yeah, so still wondering why we are, oh sorry, we're having bearer, that's why. Imagine, I wouldn't have easily noticed it, but for some reasons I don't know why this has the other swagger that I've encountered, would actually have there. You'll have to enter the bearer by yourself, so that's why we have that error. Okay, you can see that now we are not getting what we are supposed to get. Yeah, we are supposed to get it. So whatever is happening to this GraphQL system, I don't know, I can't really say. Like I said, it has to do with the versioning. So I think as at 4.4.7, I've not checked it. Like I said, I'm expecting that this should have been fixed. So that's that. Then So we can now fetch. So I can fetch for one single one. I can use this ID to fetch for a single user and just do get one, right? Get one. Here, click on this guy, and so we can just fetch the one. So there's something that I want us to now look at. Now look at this guy here. We have populate. So I'm just going to do populate equals to star, right? And let's see what happens. You can see where to go and fetch the relationship for me, right? So you can try different things with these guys. You can do, let's say you can do okay, I want to return some fields alone, so I want to return only first name and last name alongside with other things. First name, last name, then yeah, that guy, you can see alongside with other things, alongside with this guy. So that's how, so you can go on and explore these guys here. Really, I don't think there's a need for me to go through all this stuff. So you can go on and explore. Like I said, if you want to return the count, I think the default is true, but regardless, it's not even returning the count. So like I said, this plugin has issues. So what I did was to do a lot of modifications as regarding this plugin. So I had to do a lot of modifications. So that's why yeah, I did a lot of modification actually. So yeah, so you have that. So here now we're supposed to also get the rows, but for some reason we ain't getting the rows. So let me try something out and show you something. So rows, let's see if we can get a row here. Doing this alone. So we are not even getting the row. So but what I'm showing you is that you can actually use this also to get specific relationships. You can see specific relationships. Okay, so if we added a new relationship now, we'll be able to get it using just adding rows, vehicles, and things like that, so that they can go and fetch all those relationships that are attributed to them. Okay, even within the relationship as well, I can also still fetch. Okay, I just want to fetch the models of that relationship alone, so I can just say vehicles dot model. Yeah, model. Oh, whoa, we're having errors. Oh. So we're having errors because this is a list. Okay, so if it is a single one-to-one kind of thing, they are going to be able to get what we want. But we're having errors because it's a list. So let me see if you can fetch the name of a role. Then also fetch the vehicles. Fetch the vehicles. Fetch the vehicles, something like this, and get the model of that vehicle. Yeah, I didn't expect it to work actually. So it's just more of being creative. Okay, so actually you can be creative, and it works sometimes. I don't know. So why this guy is not working right now? So we're having issues because of this guy. This guy ain't working for some reasons, like I said. Whatever the case is, I don't know. I don't know why this guy is not working, but it's all right. It's all well and good. So we have this guy here. We have this guy here, so we can just use these two. But there are a lot of ways that we can use to customize this system. Like a lot of ways, which probably I'll be showing you later on. It's more like the advanced part of the whole thing. But really, this is what we have here for these parts or this section. So it's just more of showing you. So if here now we can check all vehicles as well. It's similar to what we have here. So we can say, okay, view this guy. Yeah, he goes and brings it up. Then you can see count and stuff. So this is where you can now say, okay, you don't want to show the count. You don't want to show the counts, then you can say. So we can see all these because of this is part of the version 4.0 4.2.0 already. So it just comes with it because it's something that has been created. All right, unlike the user plugin. Okay, the user plugin is the only outlier. So here now you can add I can decide now to get the user that owns that car. It's not even showing me the user. Sorry, user ID rather. I think we use user ID on it. Yeah, so great. So you can see we have that now. So what I was trying to do the other time was to now do something like user ID dot first name. Okay, so I'm expecting to only get the first name of that user. Well, for some reason we are getting internal server error. Well, I will show you how to construct it. So it seems the construction is not just right here, the way it's supposed to go. But whatever the case is, I'll show you how to construct what we need to construct. Let me see if what we need to do is on this place, because we are supposed to be able to do what I'm looking for. Really, you're supposed to be able to do that here. So for some reason it's not just working. It's not working. These are things that we can do normally. So I will show you in the advanced version of this section. So but for now, this is just what we have, and I don't want to dwell much on this guy. Why? Because there are a lot of things for us to cover. Okay, so yeah, so having shown us what we have, you can see the start, the limit, and everything. So I won't go deep into creating multiple products and stuff. So here now I'll just move straight to creating custom APIs. Straight up, custom APIs. We're going to do custom APIs. We're going to do life cycle. We're going to do yeah, we're going to do sockets as well, which forms the basic foundation. Then we're going to probably customize middleware, okay, as well, so that all these forms the foundation of what I'm trying to achieve here, really. So after that, then you can always go out there and do whatever you need to do and customize things any how you want it. So just dive into it directly and go straight. So I'm showing you also our VS Code now, and from there we pick the rest of the things that we need to do. So here we have the source. Okay, so inside the source we have API. Now when you look at this source, now we have the admin. I think I've walked through this for you guys before. So you have the admin. The only thing that we didn't check is the API. All right, then if you check the extensions, you have the documentation that we just installed, we have the email, we have the upload, we have the user permissions as well that we installed. So this user permission tool will also come in handy in a lot of things that we will be doing. Okay, we'll be customizing some things, right? So yeah, there are things that we need to do. So you realize that we didn't create this vehicle, it created by itself. So any content type that you create, it adds to vehicles. Sorry, I said vehicles. It adds to the API. So if I intend to create a new custom endpoint, a new custom endpoint now, at the end of this whole stuff, we are going to see that. So we're going to see it here. We're going to see it here as well. We're going to see it everywhere needed. But we're going to then see it on the code itself. That's the folder. So the folder contains the content type. It contains the controller, it contains the documentation that has to do with the JSON that has to do with this guy. Like you can actually modify it manually, right? You can modify it manually to show or to remove whatever you need to remove, but you have to be careful doing that. So personally, I would advise you touching it because it's just fine as it is. All right, it's fine as it is. Then you have the routes. Okay, I'll show you what's inside the route. You have the services as well. Then yeah, so I've shown you what we have inside the content. So the content type is more like the schema. also what it is and things like that. You can see all the definition that we have done on the content type UI. These are all the definitions that we've done and things like that. So you have the video image, you have the status, you have the model that we have. It's telling us the type and things like that. So you can as well create something like this. Probably if you intend to create like that, you can create a model. Okay, I said yeah, you can create a model from all these. Basically, you can create a folder. Okay, in fact, there are commands to generate some of these things actually. So you can generate your own API even directly from command line instead of going through the content builder version. Well, the content builder version is easier. I don't know why you want to generate your own separately using the command line without any tangible reason, except probably you won't be generating, well, whatever you need to generate is not a model. Probably it's just controllers. Okay, so you can now use the command line to spring that up. I'll show you how to do that too as well. So this is the controller. This is where magic happens. All right, magic happens here, like it just happens. So you can create your own controllers. You can modify this controller that we have here as well. I advise you to create, of course you have to create your own, but this you have to leave this guy alone the way it is. So when you are creating your own controller, you have to create a new file of this guy. You have to create a new file. Then for documentation, like I said, I don't know why you have to touch that. Then for route also, you have to create your own customized your own file as well. But then creating your file will have to be in a particular format. Okay, have to follow a particular format. Then services too, if you want to create services too, you can do that. You have to follow a particular format as well. So what I normally do most times, I don't touch services and stuff just to avoid going from one place to the other at intervals and things like that. It's just for speed really. Okay, so now we now create we are going to be creating a custom controller now. So yeah, so basically what we have here is very straightforward. It started already. Okay, so it started from here already, right? So in here now we are just going to modify this guy by adding some functions to it so that it can accommodate for some other things that we'll be creating. Okay, so Strapi is everywhere. Strapi is everywhere in the application. So Strapi is everywhere in the application. So that's something we need to keep in mind. So that's what we have now. You can see, just copy this template and paste it somewhere. You just need to do this guy. So if I now intend to now do something like I'm creating a new endpoint, so I'll just say okay, the name of my new endpoint is get only just JavaScript notations, but in Core manner, in the Core JS manner, get only vehicles with vehicles belonging to to Eldon Gypsy. All right, so ever sync. So we have CTX. So CTX is more like the context. So then we have the next guy here. So we just have to do that. So that's what we need to do. So even if you are trying to add multiple context here, we just all you need to do is just replicate this guy, add a comma, then you are good to go here that way. Okay, so I'm going to just add 2 here. So just for context sake, I will just return something here. ttx.send, send back something, send back details, send back details that says yeah, only me. Okay, so this one says this other one now say only me too, so that we know what exactly this is. Only me too, right? So now we have those two stuffs, those two, what's it called now, those two controllers here. Now we can access the controller without having a router, right? A route actually. So all we need to do is now create a replica of this guy. Copy. I'm gonna create this guy now and paste. All right. So I'm having one there. So one, yeah, like that. One like that, so that it reads this guy first, then comes to read the next one. So we have something like this there, and better still, I'll even prefer. In fact, it's best you name it this way, really. One, so that it reads that guy first. All right. So then it's gonna. So we are gonna be using the format of the old format of what's it called now? The old format of the router. Okay, we are not going to be using the format that we just saw. So we're going to be using the format of the router so that we can get that. Okay, so and I wanted us to try something out, but because of time, let's try something out first. So let's use what we did the other time. So get Strapi. Okay, let's try something out. Like I said, this is live. It's not like it's a premeditated what's it called video, the live thing. So yeah, yeah. So I don't think we need this guy really. Since that guy is a function, then everything should just work. Oh, need it. Yeah, I need it. So let's just leave it that way. Yep. So I'm expecting to do something like Strapi dot route rather, Strapi dot route, then dot let me see. Hold on. Strapi dot route dot yeah. So something like that. Dot this guy, so that we have yeah, vehicles. We have vehicles here. Vehicle dot routes dot on shift dot on shift. So you can now say the method is what? The method is get, right? So basically you can just copy some of these things. You can copy and paste it. It's not, there's no harm in that, all right? Yeah. So what is the name we give to it? I'm giving the same name I sent to it, so the URL as well. Then the handler will now be the what's it called? That's the vehicle dot the name of the controller. Then yeah, that's it. That's it. So you can just add config something. I'm copying this from somewhere actually. Now add configs there and things like that. Then you're good to go. All right. So let's assume let's just check if this works. But basically, remember that I said that anytime we create or modify a file, we always get something like this. So there are things that we're going to be seeing now that would be crazy to us. It looks like it's crazy, but it's not. So let's just wait for it to restart. So this video might be a bit longer than expected. It restarted. Thank God it was fast. Yeah. So let's go to the content. Is it content now? Let's go to this guy. Let's see something. So when you go to the roles, you're going to see permissions, right? So we need to give permissions to those newly created controllers before we can. So because we created it under vehicle, we should be able to see it under vehicle. So for some reasons, we are not seeing them under vehicle yet, which I don't know why. All right, I don't know why we are not seeing them under vehicle yet. So, but then it's something that we're going to figure out together. So I'm suspecting that it's because of the routes that we don't have yet. That is not clear. Okay, the route is not what we are expecting, or is not what is expecting to be. So I'm going to just remove this guy and change it. So I guess yeah. So I guess it is. Well, let me just. I'm trying to see if this works. So if it works, then I think we are good. If this guy works, I think we are good. So let's retry this guy again, and let's see. I have a feeling that this is the way it's supposed to go with this guy. That's with this version 4.2.0. But if it does not happen that way, we leave the modifications or the corrections to those that created the application. So let's see what happens to this guy. Wow, so it didn't work. So I'm just going to revert back to what I know actually works. Okay, so I'm removing a bunch of things. I'm removing this guy, right? I'm removing I'm removing this guy as well. I'm removing this guy as well. So all we are left with is just an export that is equals to an export that is equals to so we now have so we'll be having this guy. Then we have the roots. Okay, have the roots. We have the roots will be now equal to a list of URLs that we have here. All right, so we have that now. And so I expect this guy to be shown in the when it restarts. I expect it to show. So voila, we have that now. We have that now. So let's go and check if it shows on the Swagger, which I doubt. But if it shows, fine. If it does not, then I think it's fine as well, because like I said, it's a custom endpoint and this is 4.2. I don't know if they will have been, if they must have modified it or make it work on custom version 4.4.7. So the only place we can test this from is on Postman. So I'll be spinning up Postman for you now to see. I don't know if you have an online Postman anywhere, or let me see if we can get one. So I'll just want to walk through this guy and let's see if there's a way we can add the what to the documentation, the endpoint to the documentation. Okay, so I don't know if that will be possible, but let's see. So we have the delete operation here. We have the put operation here. So I'm guessing it's something we can add manually though. So we have the we have the get operation here. We have the post operation here. Then we have the actual get operation here. So I think what we might need to do now is to add our own operation using their own stuffs. It might not work. I'm not saying it's gonna work, but if it works, it's all fine. Sorry. I've tried a lot of things actually, but like we are like in life, we never stop trying. Okay, we never stop trying to make things work. And if it works, that's fine because I'll just make another video to show what should be done and what has been done. Right. So we're having a comma here. So you can see it's already blue. So I'm just gonna copy a get request here. That looks like something we might want to be using. Then we have this. Then removing the trailing comma. Then the operation will just be get only me vehicle thereabout, only me here. So I don't know, parameters we may just remove them or leave them. I don't think we need any parameters here yet, so I'm just going to be removing the parameter. I'm making them empty actually. Yes, I don't want it to be too long. So tag is vehicle. Then now of course we have all these other guys here. The response is that. So let me just save this guy and let's see what happens. So meaning that so if this works, so you can always add to your what's it called? You can always add custom endpoints to your you can always add custom endpoint to your Swagger. I was expecting the system to restart, but it didn't restart for some reasons, I don't know. But then whatever the case is, so I think for this one now we have to go and regenerate the documentation. I just hope it doesn't throw any error. Generate. So it says document generated. So let's see if we have a new guy here. So we don't have a new guy here. Like I said, it may not work, it may work. So assuming it work now, that would have been a breakthrough for us. In fact, look at it. It removed what we added because we generated it. What we added was removed by the system. Selfish something. So I'm just going to get this guy. Instead of doing that, I'll get this guy. Okay, copy this guy. Yeah, I'll copy this guy, put it here. Okay, then copy this guy and put this guy here. So this session is called trial and error. So I'm just trying to avoid modifying Strapi's code directly, and I'm probably breaking one or two things and coming back to now lament or doing stuff. So let's see what happens on the front end of things. I have a feeling that there's still a place we needed to modify that we didn't check. Probably here, public. I don't know. The full documentation. So vehicles. Let me look for vehicles. Yeah. So vehicle request. We have the num, we have all these guys, we have this guy here. List of responses, we have this guy here as well. You can see the relationship that can be gotten from that guy. Like very deep relationship, very deep one. Okay, very deep one. So look at the role we're trying to look for. So it's more of the type, it's an object, the property, the data, enter into it before we now got to the attributes. You can see that we got to the attributes and stuff. So you have to just check that. Wow, this is too long. What? Just for vehicles alone. Whoa. Okay, just for vehicles alone. You can see why you won't want to mess with it. You can see the reason. And this is the response. I don't know if there's another one. Yeah, this is responses. So I don't think there's no way for us to really add what we are trying to add really. Okay, so we just assume, so we just move on like that. Like I said, that has been created, so we're going to be using the custom endpoint there. Sorry, so yeah, on the online postman. So let's look for any postman online, so we can use that. I think I have a postman on my web. I don't know if I've deleted it or not. Yeah, I'm going to use this guy for now. So what we created is named let's come here and check rows riders. Yeah, I'm enabling it for this guy as well. So it's named api.getVehicles only and stuff. So that's it. So I'm just gonna copy this guy, come here and probably go back to this here. Just make it public, really make it public, just for everybody to get so that so we have our postman here, local host 1337, then you have everything there like that. So if you should click on that and do that, you should get I didn't expect to get 404 but we are getting 404. So why is that? Did we save this guy? No, we did save it now, right? So let me send it again, or 404 again. We are sure we copy this guy. Whoa. All right, something's wrong. So let's go back to our code. Why are we getting 404? I have a controller here that returns what we want. Then we have the route here that returns what we really want as well. Okay, so let's save it. I don't think this is the reason, but I'm just adding that. Okay. We don't need the middleware here at all. We don't. So that might even be the reason itself. So all we need, probably, if you want the policy, you can do a policy here, right? Yeah. So I think that's it. So what we have should just work. So why I added these vehicles is because it's a vehicle endpoint, and I just think it should just carry vehicles. So going back to the online postman. to test that part again and expect us to see something. I don't know why we are still getting this. Oh yeah, it does not, it won't be found. Vehicles, vehicles. Why are we still getting this? This is very weird now. It's not getting weird rather. It's not getting very weird. Wow. Okay. So I'll pause this video and figure it out. Then we can continue. Yet, because I don't know why it's not working. It's supposed to work. Method is get path. That's a path. Then handler. That's the handler there. Then we have that. So then why are we now having that issue? Let me see the route vehicles. Yeah, it works. So then the response also counts. Yeah, the response also counts. So how did I do this? Oh, I just set CT. I didn't return. Sorry. I'm supposed to return something here as well. Return something here as well. All right. So for you to understand this, the syntax used there, you have to check quota.js. Okay. Check quota.js to understand the syntax used here very well, so that you're able to know what to manipulate, how to manipulate, or how to get what you need to get. So the Strapi system used quota.js, right? Use quota.js. They have a very good documentation of about what you need to do and things like that. So about how things have been done. Very good documentation. Okay, so you can see our keys. I'm sure you're already seeing something similar to what we already have there. You can see async blah blah blah, and you have all these guys here. If you want to throw error, all I do is just sit here, throw this error, which is similar to what we have in Strapi too. But I'll be showing you some other things that that they do. Yeah, etc. So that's basically if you want to get the header, get all these things from anywhere you want to get them from, you have that you have. Then the aliases and a lot of other things that you can do with what we have here. So you can easily guess what, or easily know what exactly you need or how to do what on Strapi. So clicking on send now, I expect this guy to just work. But it seems it's still stubborn enough for it not to work. So let's try and see if you can add headers to it. So just for adding sake, really. I don't know why it's still very adamant of not working. So authorization, um, bearer. So I'll be using this guy here. I'm already getting tired, so I don't know if I'll be able to continue from here. It's not easy making the video. My throat is dry, everything is, you know. So yeah, I'll just pause this video and figure it out, and we can continue from there. Yeah, so it worked. It has worked. So I'm gonna tell you why it didn't work in the first place. It didn't work because we did vehicles. We did something like this, vehicles, right? Vehicles. This guy. Well, apparently, we now went to the dashboard. Sorry, the postman to go and do vehicles like this. So what we were supposed to do was to do something like this and expect to get the same result. Sure you get. So right now you can see we get the same result, but it's not pretty. So there should be a slash here, and if you do that this now, it's not found. So the slash is what was added here, so that we can have that. So it actually works before normally. So yeah, so that's pretty much the way how to do how to create. So just make sure that you create this guy. So why this guy is up here is because there's an endpoint that has vehicles ID. So it has to read this file first before it reads this one, or else it will always return the first one here. Okay, you can try what I'm saying on your own, then you understand what I mean. So that's that. That's how to. So whatever logic now we now want to now do can now be done here, or you can do the logic inside the vehicle services. Like I said, I don't use vehicle services. I do everything I need to do inside here. Inside here. So even if it's to query database, which is what we are going to be going to do next, you can just do that straightforward like that. Okay. So let me just try to query database and see. So also you can console log. If you check my terminal here, you can see what we console logged here. Yeah, hello. Okay, you can see hello here. Yeah. So I'm just gonna go here now and let vehicles equals to Strapi. So you want to go, if you want to, so I normally prefer to query the database directly. Okay, so even if you create a service, you have to just query database directly from the service. Then you now use the service now the database. It does not really make any difference, but personally I query directly just to be able to get the raw things that I want. So I'll just do this guy. Then so there is a particular format that you need to follow. So query, so what are we querying? We are querying this guy here. Okay, so we are querying that guy there. Then we have that guy here. Then we can now do dot find. So we can either find one. We have different methods of all these stuffs. So you can find one, you can find many, right? You can find many, you can find one. But here now I'm trying to find one. I'm going to show you many too as well. I'm finding one here. So I'm finding one where ID equals to 1, right? Where the ID is 1. So I'm just going to return the results. Result equals to vehicles. Okay, yeah. So let me also use the JavaScript notation here just for, so you know how that works, right? Yeah. So I'm saving this now. I expect to get a one. I expect to get one of this guy, and you can see there's no populate through here. So I didn't expect to get any relationship. I'm not supposed to get. I'm expected to get just only that guy alone, and some other things that we may not want or may not need. Okay. So getting back to the postman, I'm just going to send this guy again. Send it. So we should have our result here. Why is it taking this long? Let's see what we have. Sorry, somebody is restarting. You just restarting now. Imagine it froze at first, so let's wait for it to restart. So I don't know how long this will take, but it shouldn't have taken. Yeah. So we just send. So well, it's turning empty stuff for us. So let's debug and see why we are getting. So we are getting this guy because we are getting an empty stuff because it's an await. So it has to be awaited to get the result. That's why we are getting that problem. So let's save again and do. So you have to await it. Like you have to always await it. You have to always await it. So what I may even do, or personally I may personally do, is to do something like create a function that just does this for you. So you can do that in the service, then call the function anytime, then pass in the parameters and some of these things there. you can just create a function. So what I'm trying to say is, by creating a function is very straightforward. So you can just have a function here that says db queries, something like that, right? There's accept a parameter, okay, and async stuff that accept the parameter async, like we have here. Then so what you'll be returning will just be return await of Strapi. So you must have gotten Strapi from somewhere before, so meaning that this guy might have to be within here. Yeah, that guy might have to be within here. Yeah, or you can get Strapi from, you can also import here, you can extract Strapi from the environment. You can extract Strapi from the environment. I'll show you how to do that. So in fact, I don't need to even there's no need to even put the time to that. Look at here. Yeah, so you can always extract Strapi from at some point, at almost any point you want, really. Yeah, at almost any point you want. Trying to look for a very good example for you. Let me use Strapi here. This one we are trying to create. I think I'll have to show you that later. Then I was thinking something I can just show you and just move on from there. Let me see. Okay, I'll probably show you later. Okay, but basically, you can just define that up there. So it means you must have gotten Strapi from somewhere. Then you can now do strapi.db query. Yeah, then you do your value app. You do app here, or probably yeah, API. You can use API here. Then API here. Then yeah. So this is basically what you return. So as you are returning this, you are dotting it with this guy here. So that's basically what it is, really. That's what it is. That's what it is. So do we even need to even return this guy? And what I'm saying here is a bit wrong. So it means you have to define for find one. So that's where the service comes in. You have to define for find one, define for find. Then it means what you are getting here will now be the API as well as the query itself. Yeah, so as well as the query itself. So that you have the query here and you have the API here, so that this can return what it needs to return. So this one can now be saying db query one, so say find one. The other one will now be db query many. So this guy will now have to go into the services. Like I said, I don't use services, so I'm gonna be doing this. I'm just showing you what you need to do. So you can now copy this guy and go and place in services. So services will just look like what we have here. Then you can import it anyhow you want. So that's that. Then yeah, so I think I don't need to save this guy for now, so I don't have to wait for it. So sending this guy over here. Yeah, you can see we have all these guys here. Isn't that awesome? So if you now want to get the relationship, like I mentioned, you can now do comma populate true. Okay, instead of star, now we're using true because we are getting it directly from the DB. So we are using populate true. So this guy now goes on to do. So you can write different conditions inside where we have there. So there are a lot of conditions that you can write. You can check the documentation for the conditions that we have there. So when you come here, you have send this guy. So you should have every of the informations that we need here. Can you see? Like that, right? So so I think that's that, really. So if you want to show conditions, like I said, you can say, okay, where the ID where the ID is not where the ID is not this guy. I'm looking for where the ID is not this guy. Okay, sorry, it's a problem there. It's where the ID is not this guy. So I expect that everything should just work fine, meaning that we are expecting null because there is no one that the ID is not. I don't think we created two. Really, I think we only created one. So there's no one that the ID is not. That the ID is not one. You can see null came back. So that's how to filter. So you can see more of these filters from their documentation. So where ID equals to, you can do equals to. So this one will turn exactly one also for us. It's same thing as saying where the ID is one as well. Understand? And we're already finding one. So if there's a field that you need that is not defined, the server is here to start. So just hope, yeah, it started already. So you can see we have that again. So that's that, really. That's that. Then so that's for querying database, like I mentioned earlier. So if I want to add this guy again, like I want to add this guy to the route, it's something I will just come here and do. That's why it's a list. Okay, it's a list, so you can always add multiple stuffs here. I'm just trying to make it neater. So yeah, so you can always add multiple stuffs here. So let me just copy this guy and play and put that here as well. So instead of having this guy, we're having two. So we have two here as well, right? So we should have our get only vehicles belonging to identity 2 now. If this server starts again, maybe restart. So if I should come here and go back here and do 2 here, so I just get forbidden, yes, which is right, which is fine. So why is it fine? Because we need to refresh this page and give access to it. So that's what we have here. You can see, give me access to this guy now. Then click on save. So if you come back here now, we should have what we want. Can you see that? Only made to simple, right? So that's that really. Then what again? So going back to the controller where we query database, so you can change the queries. So where status equals to active as well. All right, where status is active. Yeah. So you can query database. You can query. It can be a very long chain of querying. You can use what's it called now? You can use loads of tags like this. You can use between. You can use from. You can use a lot of tags there that you can use. Okay. You can use between. You can use range. You can use not null. You can use a lot of them. So you can go to their documentation. Let me open the documentation for you here. Then yeah, documentation strapi.io. Yeah, documentation. Open, please. If oh yeah, thank you. So resources. Then we have the documentation here, right? Then yeah. So what I was looking for basically is the API. In fact, what we just did, we've covered a bunch of these guys already. It's a quick start. So I'm looking for some. Let me see if this is what we're looking for. No. You know what we're looking for? Is this looking for? Models. Let me see. Let me see the models creation. So these are ways you can create the models, like I mentioned the other time. You can use the Strapi generate to generate the APIs, especially if you don't you may not want to create content type, but you can use that to generate it from your local and create exactly what you want, as if that's what you want really. So you can see the sample here, as you have collection names and restaurant version 1, version 2, version 3, version 4. You can decide to create something very crazy on your own, in terms of probably build all the stuff from scratch. So it means you have to write a bunch of what Strapi would have written for you out of the box, if you had done, or if you had used the GUI. So I don't know why you want to go through the stress of the GUI, except you want to modify. All right, and if you want to modify, just come and call these guys, and you are good to go. So services, excuse me. So controllers, so everything happens with services as well. It happens with services, it happens with you can see the customization I mentioned. So you can create this as service as well, then use this and return response. So the response will be taken and be used. Okay, the response will be taken and be used for what? For um can be used for, what's it called, can be used in the controller. Sorry, I have to take quota there. Can be used in the controller, and that's it. That's how you get what you want to get and what you need. All right. So all right. So yeah. So this is part of what we have. Then middleware, I will come back to the middleware later. Let me check if there's anything I need to implement on. I need to tell you about the route. There's nothing I haven't already told you before. There's nothing I haven't already told you before here. Okay, so you need to just work with what we have. This route is a bit different than what we have on the configuration, because it's going to be you're using the core router here. The core router will only override other things that we have before, and that is not what we want. Okay, so custom router is this way to create custom router, which we have done already. Okay, which I've shown you before. So what I'm actually looking for is their API engine, the query engine. I think, yeah, great. So this is what I was looking for, the query engine. So this is what I normally use, like I've shown you. So you can see, start with so and so, end with so and so. You can continue with all these. You can query database with all these stuff here that we have. All right, but look at the filtering. That is filtering here. So you can have, and you can have a lot. I think we have a bunch of them below. So you can use that to query a lot of things that you need to query. Yeah, look at them. Not null, ends with, starts with, not contains, insensitive, between, get or equals to, sorry, greater than or equals to, greater than, less than or equals to, less than, not in. That's for arrays. That's, you can see for arrays and stuff. For arrays as well. For not equals to this guy. Yeah, equals to this guy, equals to case sensitive. So that's if you are trying to get words, etc. So you have a lot to actually work with here. All right, you have Ansible, so you can check the logical operators to here, so which is what we have here really, and a lot of them on and on. So you can see the single query operations, where you can just find parameters and find one, just find one where so and so you are selecting a particular field. So if I should add this guy now to what we already have here, we'll be selecting just this guy here. I'm selecting the name of the vehicle and the model of the vehicle, right? Yeah, so if I should save this guy now, I'm expecting that I'm only getting the name of the vehicle and model of the vehicle here. So that's that. Then find many, that's to find an array of stuffs, plenty of them. Then find with count. So you want to find with count, you want to make sure that count follows it well. You're welcome to do that as well. So you can do that as well, and I'm going to just try and do that too. Where is my VS code? So my VS code is here. Yeah. So let's get the result of this guy first before I change that. We have this. Oh, sorry. So we have this guy. You can see. We got the user ID. Yeah, he really gave us this guy. Can you see that? Lambo. He really gave us the Lambo itself. And that's all. Name and the model. Alright, the name and the model. Then the vehicle image. Wait, oh, he gave us something more than that, though. I don't know why this one didn't work, but whatever the case is, I think you have to figure that out yourself. But basically, you have every other thing that you want. So I think there's something missing in what we did. Let me see if fields is what we're looking for. Yeah. And while we are doing that, I'm going to change this guy to find with count. So we're expecting an array now plus the count itself. So let's wait for the server to spin up by itself again. So it started up back. So let's check the with count. So I'm expecting to see a count underneath it. Yeah, you can see the count 1. That's 1. But the way this place is not really cool, right? It's not cool. So assuming we close this guy. Sorry, let me just get this guy from here. Let's check it on JSON formatter. So now we know where it stops and where it starts. All right. Okay, great. So yeah, you can see 1. It's not cool, right? It's not cool, but I think it returned the count for us. So you can now format you can format the response before you return it to the outside world, right? Something like that. Something like doing like you can do something like so here now I say in fact result equals to vehicles 0 1, right? Then count as well. Then count is vehicles 1, something like that, so that we can get what we need to get. So while the server is restarting for that, I'll run through if you are trying to mimic an error. So what I would normally do is, since you are making a call to database, there might be an error too. So just use a try and catch to catch the error and return whatever. If you want to return the actual error from the DB, fine. If not, well, whatever you need to return can be returned. So I'm just going to move all these guys inside here, including this guy as well, inside here. Yeah, then I throw an error here that says, so I'm going to be using the quota error throwing here for now, but then I'll show you the other error. Let's check the quota documentation so that we can be yeah. So find cx dot throw. Yeah, so this guy we are using this is 415. Well, I mean I'm using the 400. I'm using the 400 here. I'm using the 400 here. So I'm removing every of this guy, right? So a 400 error here, then followed by the message, error message, Yeah, so yeah, that's what we have. Then let's see for two. So we have that now. Now let's call the endpoint and let's see what happens. So we have this guy. So I'm expecting to get a count. Can you see that we have a count here, right? And we still got whatever it is that we needed to be. We needed returned. So, but one thing that is not cool that we are getting here is we are getting back the passwords. We are getting back so you can write a function that runs through the responses and remove the passwords, right? That we run through responses and remove the passwords, or you can specify the fields, like I said. So let's go to the Strapi where we can select. You can see attributes to return. So let's just see how this really works, really how the select works. So because we were trying to use it at that time, we didn't get it to work. So I was wondering why it didn't work really. So normally this is in fact we actually apply it the way we are supposed to apply it. So the reason why it didn't work, I can't really say about that for now. But uh, we are here. We are where we are actually. We are where we are. Like I said, this version is not really stable. So I'm hoping that in the next version it will have been more stable than the way we have it now, right? So probably I'd have to just remove this populator through. Let me remove it first. Let's see what happens. I'm having a feeling that probably it has something to do with what we are having. So this guy can now be status. We can also say status, success or something. That's if that's we want to display some of these things, right? So we can just have that. And I'll purposely try to trigger an error. Yeah. So I won't define this guy, and I would let me see if it has started. So let's run the first one so that we see the first one. I'm in a hurry. Oh, great! So it actually worked. It worked. So because I added populate equals to true, so it went ahead to go and get every other information that is needed. It actually worked even with the populate equals to true. It only selected the information, sorry, the IDs, or sorry, the fields that we want and the relationships. That's what it did the earlier on. The other thing that this guy will now do right now, he'll be doing two things. Because I've commented this guy out, I'm trying to show you the errors that we have here. All right, so vehicles, then I'm expecting that the error, it will tell me an error of undefined here. All right, so let's go back and see. So let's wait for it. Started again. So clicking on this guy now, we see fine. You can see a bad request. So this is the error message that came with it. All right, that came with it and things like that. So you have something like this, right? So you can just throw your error that way, or you can also throw your error in this format that I'm gonna just show you. You can do something like just hold on. I'm trying to pull that up. The normal JavaScript error. Well, I won't say normal JavaScript error because yeah, I think it's normal JavaScript error. But then this is from exactly from Strapi itself, right? So we have something like this. So error occur while fetching vehicles now instead of fetching riders, right? So we have that. So we can now return the error in this format. So the error, whatever it is, just to show that it's an application error or a system error, or whatever error is it is rather. So you can either use this guy or use this guy, whichever one. So this guy directly throws the error by itself. So if you come here now, start it again, then you can have you can see that error here. You can see, but this one is even throwing internal server error outright. So we need to import the application error Yeah, which I failed to import. So we need to import it from some places here. So we have some things. We have sanitize, we have utils, we have a lot of other things that we can use. So you can import stuff too, like we have here. Okay, import stuff. So I'm getting all these things from the utils. Then from the utils I get sanitize. The sanitize, we can sanitize. We can actually sanitize some of the responses that we got. We can sanitize it. So I would we will go to the configuration together and check. So you can get this error and return exactly what you need to return. Is it a validation error? Is it an application error? So in this case, an application error. And if you don't have time creating all these stuff or importing, then you can just use this guy directly, right? So that's that. Then doing that now should not throw us, give us internal error again. Why do we still have this? It's not defined. How do you mean not defined? I just imported you. Didn't I save? Oh, I didn't save. Sorry, don't mind me. I didn't save.